We've been scavenging the entire internet for the weirdest, the rarest, and the most uselessest Warhammer things ever found.
Some of these things are quirky and fun to use, and others downright dangerous.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I shot myself with something.
Not great, Games Workshop.
Oh, this brings back memories.
You're supposed to be the unreasonable one. Seriously, what's happening? I feel like I'm about to cry. Let's bring out... Just a few weeks ago, Games Workshop released what's, in recent memory, probably the ugliest product they've ever done. The Servo-Skull Silicon Paint Palette.
Yeah.
And that got us thinking about all the weird things we've seen Games Workshop release previously.
That's a lot of things.
And it's taken us quite a lot of time to find all of these stuff. But we finally have found most of the ones that we wanted to try out ourselves and see, are they fun and weird and quirky?
Are they the best thing Games Workshop has ever produced?
And were Games Workshop less of a scammers previously in life?
But most importantly, are we scamming them?
That's the question. Item 1. Okay, Lucas. First of all, this airbrush design.
I love it.
It's the weirdest one I've seen in my life. For one, instead of having the paint like running down by itself, you have one of these siphon feed airbrushes, because you create a siphon in here, then the air is like pushed up with air to the nozzle.
So it's more similar to, you know, when you're painting cars or whatever.
But it's weird because the needle is, you can't move it back and forth. The amount of control you're gonna have is gonna be non-existent. But secondly, after you've looked at this beautiful gun, it's like, oh, you connect it to a compressor, Lucas.
Yes. In a sense. You bring out the Citadel propellant.
What the hell? We still got air in there,
Yeah.
Lucas.
This one feels almost branded new.
A massive thanks to Jon Borg for selling us his airbrush.
You need to screw it on. IQ minus 11.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah! Fuck, I shot myself with something. What the fuck? Ah!
Okay, look at the power. So it's like PSI 40 maybe?
Can you control it
Quite
with an
strong.
arm?
Yeah, maybe. It's leaking.
Yeah, that's not very good.
But, I mean, first of all, the control of this one. There's like on and off.
Yeah.
And you can't control the needle. Meaning, the only thing you can do with this is like prime.
Yeah, but isn't that the intention?
But why didn't you just buy a spray can primer?
No, because, so, if I don't remember completely wrong here, when they marketed this one, it was like, oh, now you can prime your models whatever color you want.
So this was before they had colored spray
Yes.
primers. But do you really want to spray with propellant indoors? It's probably not great. So Lucas, we're obviously gonna try to put some paint in here and give it a whim, and then we'll come back and give it the grade.
It's a bit hard to aim with. Like 25 million times better than I thought it would be. It covers really smoothly. It's like a decent, weird airbrush. I fucking love it!
Why?
Because it's so brilliant!
Why does Games Workshop have to do this? Like, sure, this is 10 years ago, but why didn't they just make a proper airbrush?
Because this is easier to sell, because it looks like a fucking flamer.
I think this is worthless. Like, you can't really use it for anything. Do spray coat of like a massive tank, maybe?
Yeah, it's perfect.
No.
You can use it to prime your models.
Outdoors.
Or indoors.
No, outdoors. Out of a scam, Lucas. I think this is a 10 out of 10
No,
scam.
it's more like a 4 out of 10 scam.
Okay. 14 out of 20. Weird tool number 1. Let's go. Item 2. Now, Lucas, it's time for my favorite one that we've purchased. This, my ladies and gentlemen, are the Squig Dice. And I hate to say it, but I didn't purchase these when they came out. I was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but they also cost like 250 crowns, so like $24. I don't want to spend money on that. I can just use the cheap dice I have at home. Do you know how much we paid for this?
Probably more than I want to know.
It's like 80 euros for one set of 20 dice. The Games Workshop Squig Dice were released some 7 years ago with the launch of the new Squig Kits and Squig Hoppers. These are Squig Dice with one of the most prettiest designs you've ever seen. They're almost impossible to read which number you've hit, and they bounce like a mother trucker. So Lucas, when you're playing a game on the table and you're having like millions of very sensitive minis on the table. And because you have 20 squigs, it's 60 dice that you have to roll. So you have 60 of these. And you're like, I'm gonna roll these now and hopefully not hit the mini. They're flying freaking everywhere!
The problem here is that you're not using one of those dice trays.
But it's fun, because Games Workshop, they have said that these ones are tournament legal. So they are approved for tournaments. But we've watched a video, and Snipe and Wib, they did 3,000 rolls of dice. It wasn't super consistent. They rolled a lot less fives, like substantially a lot less fives than any of the other numbers. But we cannot fully trust Snipe and Wib, of course. We have to do tests ourselves. So while Lucas do a roll of 1,500 dice, let me talk about this week's sponsor, Squarespace. I'm one of those people that have a ton of ideas all the time. And whenever I want to start a new project, I need to showcase that somewhere online. Sure, you can open social media, but it's not gonna cut it if you want to seem professional. Instead, with the help of Squarespace, you can create your own website without any previous knowledge, and you can try to make that website completely for free. Squarespace Design Intelligence makes it easier than never before to make your own website thanks to their decades of knowledge and their new AI systems integrated with that. Anyone can now make a website. Just take us as an example. It took us probably 1 or 2 hours to get all the images, all the text up there and have a nice design on our website without any knowledge of programming whatsoever. Just head on to squarespace.com, try to build that website for free, and then when you're ready to launch, just head over to squarespace.com/Squidmar or use the code Squidmar to get 10% off that entire purchase of a website or a domain. We have also rolled 1,500 dice and counted them all. So imagine you're rolling dice, Lucas, and the average you will have if you roll 1,000 dice should be 3.5.
Yeah, because it's the half of 7.
But the average that we've had rolling these dice are 3.33, so slightly below average. And the fascinating thing is, we had a way below average, especially on 5s. So if you have a team that hits on 5+, like for example, freaking goblins, which the dice are made for. So out of 1,500 dice, it's like 230 of each, which isn't great.
But they also feel kind of fun to use.
I mean, this is one of those things that I freaking love these dice. I think it's hilarious. I love that they've made them tournament legal, even if they aren't really average dice. They're actually below average in terms of the rolls.
Since these are Games Workshop products,
yeah,
a lot of people have used them for fucking proxying their squigs.
So you get 20 for like $24. That's pretty decent.
That's kind of ingenious.
Yeah, big brain people. I still think this is a 0 out of 10 scam. Because I
like
love these dice.
This is a 10 out of 10 scam. You buy worse dice for
but
more
they
money.
Are awesome. Look at how bouncy they are, Lucas.
This is the epitome of this series.
You're supposed to be the unreasonable one, but I love this, so this time I get to be the unreasonable one. Item 3. Lucas, this video is costing us so much money right now.
What is this beautiful bag?
This is something that I found plopping up on Facebook Marketplace. So, you know, Artis Opus, they make brush boxes in wood. This is the OG Citadel's heavy metal paint brushes. The Master Series paint brushes.
These I do not have anything to say about. I have never tried these ones.
You also got a brush soap. You also got cup or something. And here we have a bunch of other brushes. So these are the standard brushes, so I assume it's like a regular sable. They are really well tipped though. Yeah, this is kind of nice. A fun rumor that goes around is that these are just rebranded Winsor Newton Series 7, but with the Citadel branding.
I have a hard time believing that.
We've done some testing and some digging.
Yeah.
First off, the testing.
The brushes were actually really good.
Yeah, Kolinsky sable brushes
Yeah.
have a tendency of being good. So
And-
how many Kolinsky brushes did you get?
So it's like 5 Kolinsky sable brushes.
Whereof only 4 is like really usable for
Yeah.
miniatures. But the digging that we've done is that the blue brushes that we got included in the box weren't actually in this set when you picked it up. And the set cost $150 in local stores here in Sweden when it came out. Just think about this, Lucas. 2007, how much did the Winsor & Newton Series 7 brush cost?
I don't know.
It's like 70, 60 crowns, so like
Yeah,
$6. So you're paying like 3 times the price for this wood box for the brushes.
Don't forget the soap,
The soap.
the little bolt-shaped cup, and apparently you used to get a cloth as well to wipe
okay,
your
so we're
brush and
missing
stuff.
that one. So with that said, Lucas, how do you feel about the set? Is it one of the weirdest things Games Workshop have done, or is it just a set?
It's definitely weird because you're paying a ridiculous amount of overprice for a
Yeah.
box and some small gadgets.
If it was under $100 and you would have gotten like 5 synthetic and 5 Kolinsky brushes, I would have felt like, oh, this was actually a really nice price. Now it feels like you're just paying a lot for a box.
With 5 paintbrushes.
It's kind of weird,
Yeah.
but it's not super weird. It's just expensive. Item 4.
Okay, it's time for the item that we've all been waiting for.
The most dangerous one out of them all.
The Citadel hot wire foam cutter.
So Lucas, this is how a regular cheap hot wire foam cutter looks today. This one is bought from a regular hardware store. I think it costs us $25 or something. And you have a power cable that you plug into the wall, and then you have the hot wire here, and you can like cut into foam like it's butter. But when Games Workshop decided we're gonna enter into the hot wire foam cutter market, what did they decide to do, Lucas?
They came out with this freaking monstrosity of a thing.
So, if you look into here, it's a toilet roll, and they put 2 metal lids on either side, added a metal thingamajiggy and a hot wire, and called it a day. Big brain Games Workshop.
And you know, whenever you're working with electricity, there's like always these like, oh, safety first and stuff.
Yeah.
But Games Workshop back in the 90s or whenever they released this one,
Yeah.
they did not give 2 rat's asses about that. Because this entire contraption works like you put 2 batteries inside here. The negative and positive side of the batteries each touch the respective metal lid, and then you just have this on and off function. So you press this against the lid that's connected to the battery, sending a current through this entire contraption
And
up
it just
here
goes around.
into the battery. I mean, it's a closed circuit, it's how electric work. However, usually I don't want to be holding the surface that's meant to become hot from having current flowing in it.
It's very low risk that you hurt yourself, but you're probably gonna feel like a bit of current. And the beautiful thing as well with this design, they just printed a sticker and put it on here. You can even see the previous brand sticker underneath it. I think we should try it, Lucas. Let's do it.
Oh. Oh. If you hold it. Oh, oh, yeah.
Looky, looky, looky.
I mean, yeah, it's working.
It's working. They're touching. Oh, it's fine. It is a little bit tingling.
Yeah.
To touch it.
No, I don't want to touch it. But it's
Actually,
not that bad.
really impressed that it actually works.
Why?
I didn't think that it would get hot enough. I thought it would just explode because it's a freaking toilet paper roll.
I gotta give it to them. The design is pretty nice. That you have this long U shape.
Yeah, actually, that design is almost better than this.
Yeah. I mean, this is not that bad, honestly.
I have to admit, in terms of happiness, this one gives me almost as much happiness as the Squig Dice does, just because it's so freaking Yankee.
I would say this gives me more happiness than the Squig Dice because this actually works. I love this.
I would give it like a 10 out of 10 in terms of weirdness, but in terms of scam, I'm pleasantly surprised. I would just give it a 5.
I'm leaning towards like a 3 out of 10 scam.
8 out of 20 scam. Not too bad for the thing that I thought we'd both give a 10 out of 10 scam. Item 5. We have a goodie bag coming up now. There's a Danish guy called Mikkel who runs a web store called Temporary Planet, and he sells all the weird stuff. Almost that Games Workshop ever made. I don't know exactly what's in this box. He just said that he's gonna send us a box of weird random stuff that used to be part of the Warhammer universe.
Fucking bitches!
Lucas, what do we have in the first package?
Is this a... Oh, this was something. Gee, okay, I want to open this one.
What in the...
It's...
Oh shit, it's leaking.
Yeah.
This, my ladies and gentlemen, is a regular Citadel spray can.
This is you. This is the guy she tells you not to worry about.
It's like 3 times the size.
I mean, this is kind of funny. But the cool thing with this one, you can use it with 2 hands.
That's what she said. But this looks like a hazard. I feel honestly kind of scared of using it. I feel like it's gonna explode.
I kind of like this one better than the regular one.
I can understand why Games Workshop would stop selling this weird tool. Difficult to stock, difficult to ship, because you can't put it in regular boxes because it's too high. I think this is a 0 out of 10 scam, Lucas.
Yeah, same.
This is like a -10. If it just wouldn't have been Corax White, which is like the worst spray color ever made.
Maybe it's better in the large one.
That is true. They say that the size doesn't matter, but it helps. Item 6. In here, Lucas, there's a secret tool from a Danish person. Ooh, line of sight marker.
Ooh.
This will be cool. Released in 2008. So I assume this is a laser point. Ooh.
The bad thing with this one though, it might just be the batteries. But it's really not powerful.
I think it's the batteries. But also, it's kind of big. So imagine if you're in a tight space and like, can I see it?
I mean, they've improved the design. You know the ones right now that you put from above and it makes a line?
No, I've never seen it. Do people still play with these stuff?
Yeah.
What does this other button do?
I don't know.
Nothing happens.
10 out of 10 scam, fuck it up. Burn it!
I thought this was cool just because it's like a cross mark when you aim it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, put it in your eye and start it to see...
Lucas, I give this 3 out of 10 scam.
I give it 7 out of 10.
Item 7. What do we have now?
This is a
Bouncy Castle. Danish packaging. Oh, an unopened box of Games Workshop paints. These paints, they were actually a post my era as a kid. Because
they are my era.
I used to have the ones that you could only spin.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, let's remake the design so that you can like up the lids. Because the ones that I had used to dry in like a year. So if you had them for a year, they were all dried.
I still have some of these that are perfect.
You do?
Yeah, I can still use them.
That's nice. Okay, this feels bad, but I'm doing it anyway. It hurts my soul. But these paints are fucking dry as a goat. They're like rubber. Oh my god. This is like a -5 because it just gave me like 100 memories back.
Oh, an enchanted blue. Oh, this brings back memories.
Seriously, what's happening? I feel like I'm about to cry.
It's because of the solvents in the paint.
Item 8. Oh, Lucas, what do we have here?
Is it a god hand clipper?
No, it's funny because I've gotten like really into clippers. I think maybe, Lucas, we have to release our own clippers at some point. Because
if this video gets 15,000 likes, we'll release our own.
Yeah, we'll make our own clipper. It's
vacuum sealed.
Yes, it's still vacuum sealed. I feel so bad for this video. It's like I'm ruining history.
But we're also giving back history to maybe people who's never gotten to experience this.
That is true.
Honestly,
it looks kind of nice.
Looks decent.
It's honestly kind of to the same level as their current clipper. You hear it's not sounding as bad as it used to. Lucas, I'm happy to say, it's less stress marks than on the current Games Workshop clipper. It's cutting better than their current clipper.
I mean, yeah. This is
one of the better two-sided clippers we've had.
What the fuck, Games Workshop?
How could they do a better clipper from 99, so it's 25 years ago?
This clipper is older than me, and it's still better than the current Games Workshop clipper.
That's not great, Games Workshop. So, Lucas, these were some weird Warhammer tools.
My favorite one must have been the paints, because they smell exactly like I remember.
Yeah, it was such a childhood return. But it wasn't very weird.
No.
The biggest surprise, I guess, was the toilet paper roll.
Yeah, the hot wire foam cutter that actually worked.
Massive thanks to this week's sponsor, Squarespace. We love the platform. Go try to make your own website. And
we also love our amazing patrons.
Especially the top donors. You guys are legends.
This one.